Good evening, all. We are really sorry there was some technical glitch, so that is the reason we could not start the session on time. So I welcome you all back. This is Colita Lawrence here. So today we are going to have a session on basic grammar because as we had a session yesterday and day before yesterday, wherein we told that we would be starting with basic grammar today. So yes, just a moment. Yes. So basically, everyone knows what is a noun and what is pronouns, right? Because when we were kids, we definitely have been through all this. We were taught this about this in our school, and our teachers took a lot of initiative for us to teach. But yes, when we are working in office, when we are like talking to people, when we are communicating to people, we definitely tend to forget. We definitely tend to make sentences properly. Okay. So today we are going to know what is noun and what is pronoun. So basically, a noun is the name of a person, place, animal, or thing, or an idea. Okay, so whenever you're talking something about a person, a place, an animal, or a thing, so this is known as noun. So before starting the session, I would like to tell you all that we have started with basic grammar because when we saw a lot of majority of people when we asked them, so there are a lot of people from rural areas who are attending the session daily. So they wanted us to start with the sessions like for grammar and all. So that is the reason we started with basic grammar so that even you can enhance your grammatical skills as well. So those people who are from convent school, those people who are in daily basis, speaking in English or who are from a well-renowned schools, but still they want to polish their grammar, definitely you can go for it. Okay. So what are pronouns? Pronouns are used in place of nouns. For example, instead of saying John went to the store, you could say he went to the store using the pronoun he. Now, what is the pronoun here? It's he. So instead of every time saying John, 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 now for example, there's an example given down here. John went to John's car and John drove John's car to John's house. You could say John went to his car and he drove it to his house using the pronoun he. Because basically when we are having a conversation with someone, what happens? Because like every time when we take some person's name, like every now and then, what happens that time you get irritated. So it's better we use something in the terms of like pronoun, like saying he is sitting in the car, he went to his home, he was attending a meeting. You don't have to pronounce a name every now and then. Okay. Now, there are a lot of people, guys, who are having a problem. I think I have not started my video. Just a moment. Yeah. So there are a lot of people, who have problem while communicating, like people who don't understand much English. So what happens when they are not in terms of speaking in daily basis? So they don't know where to mention who, whom, whose, what, which. So it's difficult for them to analyze the words in communication. Okay. So today we are going to learn about where to use which words and where to use it grammatically in a proper way. Okay. So who is used to refer to a person or people. Like we say, who is that person? We don't, if we don't know that person, definitely we say, who is that person? Who is going to talk today? Who is going to sing today? Who is going to take the lecture today? So we don't know that person. So we're going to specially mention there as who. Okay. So now next one is whom. Where is whom referred to? Whom is referred to a person or people. So the example for this is, whom do you see at the party? With whom are you going to the concert? Now, basically, if we are not going to take 10 people's name when we are going to have a conversation, like we are not going to take each and everyone's name. Are you going to go with Pooja? Are you going to go with Neil? No, we are going to take someone specifically. We are going to say with whom you are going to go for the concert, with whom you are going to go for the party, with whom you are going to attend the classes. So this is where we are going to use whom. Now, the next one is whose. Whose is used to ask about position. It is used to refer to a person or people. Now, for example, whose book is this? Whose car did you borrow? Now we are asking a question, right? So we don't know that person's name. Now, for example, I got a pen, okay, and someone gifted that pen to me. So basically, we are colleagues, and you come and ask me like, wow, who gave you this pen? So the colleague doesn't know what is that person's name who gifted that person. So you're going to say, who gifted you this? Okay, so whose car is this? Whose book is this? So basically, this is an example for whose. Now, the next one is what. What is referred to a thing, idea, or situation? It can be used as the subject, object, or complement of a sentence. Now, what is the example for this? What did you eat for breakfast? I don't know what to do. Now, for example, you are going to ask a question to someone, right? If you're asking someone, where do you live? So this is sort of like where. Okay. So now we're asking, when did you come? So this comes under next question, that is when. Now, what did you eat in your breakfast? You're asking a question to a person. So this is like where in your situation, you're asking a person. Okay. The next one is which is used to refer to a choice between two or more things or ideas. It can be used as the subject, object, or complement of a sentence. It is same as above. Like you can ask questions like which one is your favorite movie? I don't know which way to go. Now, for example, when you're asking, there are a lot of examples wherein you can ask which is your favorite movie, which is your favorite teacher, which is your favorite actor, or which is your favorite actress. So this is the time when we ask about which. So a lot of people have an doubt in between what, which, who. So this is also like an example to understand, because as I told you, a lot of people from rural areas who attend our sessions, so it is going to be easy for them to understand. Yes. Now, a lot of people, they don't understand this, that, these, those, where we are supposed to mention these words. Okay. So now we are going to understand where are these words used. Now, this is referred to a singular thing or idea that is near the speaker. So now, for example, this book is interesting. This is my house. Now you're showing something to a person, right? So you're going to tell them, this is my mom, this is my dad, or this is my favorite teacher. This is the book, what I was talking about. This is the movie, what I was talking about. So this is like you're going to give an example in this. So this is the word which is used in every conversation, okay? So the next one is that. That is referred to a singular thing or idea that is far from the speaker. For example, you're telling someone, see, that is my house. That is my mom who's standing there. Like, that was a really good movie. So you're going to tell them when a thing is far from you, wherein you're standing and you want to show something to that person. Yeah, that is the same restaurant I was talking about. That is the same place what I was talking about. So this is the word which is used, like that is used in terms of conversation. Okay. So now the next one is these. These are used to refer to multiple things or ideas that are near to the speaker. Now, for example, now we were talking about the things which were far from the person. Now we are going to talk about the things which are close to that person. Now, these are the books. Okay, for example, these shoes are very comfortable. These cookies are delicious. You're talking about something which is close to you. Okay. These are my favorite flowers. These are my favorite chocolates, which is close by to you. You're talking about that. So that this is the word which is used when these is in the conversation. Okay. Now we're going to talk about those. Those refer to multiple things or ideas that are far from the speaker. For example, those birds in the tree are singing. Those flowers in the garden are beautiful. Now, this thing is like far from you when you're standing and showing to the person. It's same exactly like when you're using that as a sentence, then definitely you're going to use those. Like it's like far from you. Those birds sitting on the tree are so beautiful. Those flowers in the garden are beautiful. So when you're standing far, you need to tell that person in this way. Okay, so now we are understanding the use of I, me, and myself. Okay, I and me are the first person singular pronouns. I is used when you're talking about yourself as the subject of the sentence. For example, I am going to the park. Now, this is like when you're having a conversation with someone and you're trying to tell them, I would be going to school now. I am going to the movie now. You're talking about yourself if you're going somewhere, okay? I am going to sing a song now. I'm going to do my homework now. So these are the examples of like sentences where you're going to use I, okay? When you're introducing yourself, example, hi. I am Jane. I am the new employee in the IT department. So when you're introducing also someone, you're going to talk about yourself. That is I. That is hi. I am Jane, the new employee in the IT department. Okay. So you're going to explain it the same way. Hi, I am Karina. I work in the IT department. The same way you're going to introduce yourself to others. When you're expressing your opinions or feelings, for example, I think we should go to the beach this weekend. I feel nervous about the presentation. So So when you are trying to explain something about yourself to others, that's what when you're trying to explain that person, yes, I feel we should go to this place, or I feel I should do MBA, or I feel I should do engineering. So you're talking about yourself. So this is when you're expressing about yourself. You say, I am nervous, I am depressed, I am not understanding this. So this is when you're trying to talk about yourself. Okay, so that is also when I is used. I is always the subject of a sentence, while me is always the object. Okay, for example, I am going to the store. Can you come with me? Okay, he gave the book to me. Now we're talking about two nouns here. Like, I am going to the store. Now you're talking about yourself. Can you come with me? Again, it's yourself. So it is going to work also in the same way. Now, use of myself. Now, let me just a moment. Yes, myself can be used in the different positions within a sentence depending on the context. It is more commonly used in the middle or toward the end of the session, a sentence. I cut myself while I was cooking dinner. Now, for example, you're going to mention that you cut yourself when you were cooking. Okay, I did the homework myself. Now, you're going to emphasize that the subject did the homework alone. Now, I hurt myself while I was running. Yes, sorry, there was a technical issue. Yes, I cut myself when I was cooking dinner. So what are you going to do? You're using I. Like, I cut myself. You're talking about yourself, okay? I did the homework myself. You're going to tell, like, I did myself. So you're going to talk about yourself, okay? I hurt myself while I was running. So this is also important when you're talking to someone. You see to it that you're mentioning about myself so that the conversation goes easily, okay? So I hope you guys are understanding where and when you're going to use which word. Next. Yes. The uses of she, her, he, him, the, those of, myself. She and her are third person singular feminine pronouns. Example, she is my sister. Her name is Radha. Now you're going to talk about a female, wherein you're going to call her as she is my sister. Her name is Radha. Okay. Now, for example, you're talking about he and him are third person singular masculine pronouns. Yes. So they and those. They and those are third person plural pronouns that can be used for both masculine and feminine nouns. Now, for example, what obvious if there are two people sitting there, okay? And then if you call her she, it's not going to look good, right? So when you're talking about a third person, you need to mention that person. Now, for example, those are my friends. They are coming over for dinner tonight. Now, for example, you are telling your friends that you're going out for a dinner. So, but obviously, you're not going to mention that person's name every now and then, right? So, you're going to say there as those are my friends. They're going to come for the dinner overnight. Okay. So, now they and those are the third person plural nouns that can be used for both masculine and feminine nouns. Those are my friends. They are coming over for dinner tonight. Now we can use these also like this, like, those are my friends. They are coming for dinner tonight. For both we can use, okay? Now next. Yes, use of you, it, and we. You is used to refer the person being spoken to or addressed. For example, could you pass me the salt? How are you feeling today? Now, if you're asking someone like, can you please give me this? So can you just share me your pen? Can I just borrow your pen? So there's a difference between that, right? Now, could you pass me the salt? Now you're talking about that person, you, like the person sitting in front of you, you're talking about that person. Okay. So it is referred to a non-human object like animal or idea. For example, the book is on the table. It is blue. Okay, now you're talking about a thing. Okay, there's a thing kept in front of you. You say the flower is so beautiful. So now you're looking at the flower, it is so beautiful. The book is on the table, it is blue. Now you're understanding the book is, then it is blue. Okay, the weather is nice today, it's sunny outside. So you're talking about someone. So you should mention there when you're talking about a person, you should mention that them, those, they. You're talking, like, going to talk about that. But when it is about a thing, an animal, and an object, or an idea, you're going to say it. It is a sunny day outside. It is blue in color. Okay. We. Now, when are we going to use we? We is used to refer to a group of people that includes the speaker. We are going to the beach this weekend. Let's go, shall we? Now, for example, you're in a group and you're trying to tell people something. So, but obvious, you all have planned it together, right? So, you're not going to tell about them, like they are going to plan. But obviously, you're going to say, we all have planned to go to the beach today. We all have planned to go to the movie today. So, you're going to include yourself also in that conversation. Yes. X is used to indicate that something belongs to a non-human object or animal. The tree lost its leaves in the fall. The car lost its tire on the highway. Now, again, the same thing is happening here when you're talking about it and it. It's just like non-human object or animal. You're going to mention there again like it's and it's. Like you have to mention wherein the conversation is there, you have to mention it's. Okay, now we're going to talk about ours. R indicates that something belongs to a group of people that includes the speaker. This is our house. The project was a success. It's all ours. Now, if in case you're talking about something like, for example, it was our plan to go to the beach. So you're going to talk about yourself also and the people with you also, that it is our plan to go to the beach. If someone is asking you a question, who all are going to the beach? Then you're going to mention as we all are going to go to the beach. Okay. Now we're going to talk about theirs, used to indicate that something belongs to a group of people or things that do not include the speaker. So now, example of this is that this is their car parked outside. That is their car parked outside. The toys on the floor are theirs. Now we're going to talk about someone else. If someone asks a question, who kept this pen here? Who kept this book here? So what you're going to say, it is their book. It is their toys. They have kept it. So you're going to talk about someone else. If you're talking about a lot of people around there, you're going to tell them it's their place. Now, if you booked a restaurant or hotel or somewhere, and if someone asks you who's going to stay here, it's their room, not ours. So it is the same. We are going to have the conversation. Okay. Now the same thing goes here again. Like it's very easy for us to understand how to speak in English, but a lot of times people do make mistakes. So it is very important to understand where you're going to use every word. Okay. Myself. Used to emphasize the speaker as the subject of the sentence. Example, I'll do it myself. I treated myself to a nice dinner. Now, as we had in a previous slide, like you're talking about yourself. Now, for example, you go for an interview and the interviewer asks you, tell me something about yourself. So you tell about yourself. So that is myself. We're going to talk about yourself, right? So yourself. The next one is yourself. Yourself is to emphasize the person being spoken to or addressed as the subject of the sentence. You can do it yourself. Enjoy yourself at the party. For example, if there are two people and the first A is talking to B, like B wants the person to enjoy. B wants A to enjoy the party. So what will the A reply? A would reply that you enjoy the party yourself. So this is the thing that in which you're having a conversation wherein you're going to talk about yourself. So the next one is himself. Himself is used to emphasize a male person or animal as the subject of the sentence. Now you're going to talk about a male person, okay? It's maybe male in animal or as in a person, okay? He hurt himself while playing soccer. The lion cleaned himself after eating. So when it's of male, you're going to talk like this as himself. Now, if it's a female, you're going to say herself, okay? Herself is emphasized a female person or animal as the subject of the sentence. Now, for example, she dressed herself for the party. The cat groomed herself. Now, when is herself used? When you're talking about a female, and where is himself used? When you're talking about a male. So you need to understand the difference between them, because but obvious you call him as for a man and you call she to a girl. But obviously when you're talking about someone else, you're going to say herself. Yes. When is itself used? Itself is used to emphasize a non-human object or animal as the subject of the sentence. Now, for example, the door closed by itself. The flower opened itself in the morning sun. Now, the door opened by itself, you're going to, but obvious, you're not going to say himself to the door, right? It's not a male. So it's an object. So what you're going to call it? Itself. Okay. Ourselves. Ourselves is to emphasize the speaker and other people as the subject of the sentence. For example, we can handle it ourselves. We treated ourselves to a vacation. Now, but obviously, as in the previous slide, you must have seen we were talking about we. When is we used? When we are with a lot of people and you as a speaker are going to present yourself. So that time you're going to say as we. So in the same way, ourselves also is connected to we. We say we can handle it ourselves. We would be going on a vacation. Okay. Now, themselves. Themselves is used to emphasize a group of people or things as the subject of the sentence. For example, they decorated the house themselves. The birds flew away by themselves. Now, this group of people or things as the subject of the sentence means when you're talking about someone other, like they are doing it themselves. She would be doing her work, they would be doing her work, their work themselves. So even this is the thing what happens when you try to understand, have a conversation about someone else. Yes. Now the pronoun that does not denote a certain person, place or thing is called as indefinite pronoun. It may be singular, plural or both. Indefinite pronouns include all, one, both, several, someone, somebody, anyone, anybody, nobody, etc. So these are the examples of indefinite pronouns. So what are the examples? Somebody was beating at the door. Someone had cut the telephone wires. She wrote something on a piece of paper. I've seen him somewhere before. He is not friendly with anybody. I don't care what anyone says. So these are the examples which goes on. So wherein we are going to use about all, one, both, several, someone. But we're talking about someone else. So this is the reason when you're talking about in a conversation about someone else. So this is the time when you're talking about someone, somebody, anyone, anybody, nobody. Okay, so guys, I do understand that grammar is sometimes boring, as I told in the previous session also, but it is very important to see that you don't make grammatical mistakes. So we are also going to share these PPTs with you. If in case you want these PPTs, we would be putting it in the link later on. It might be in the description or might be we would be sending you in a WhatsApp group or however it's possible so that you should understand also like whatever you learned today. Okay, and I have told in the previous sessions also, every day you need to speak in English so that you polish your English, so that you communicate well, you have a good accent in English. You need to understand like why is English important, because nowadays surviving without English is, as I told you in my last session also, it is very difficult. So you need to understand that we need to speak in English. That is very important, because what happens a lot of times people feel like, we are just speaking basic English. So when you are working for a corporate sector, when you're working in a company, it really impacts. It gives a bad impact when you are in your interview, when you are into a session. For example, if someone tells you, unknowingly, someone tells you to take a presentation, you're not well prepared. So basically, you're going to end up in a session where you don't know anything. You don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to make sentences. So this is the time, again, I'm telling you, this is the time you have got a lot of time to understand what is English, why is it important, what are the basic grammars, how you're going to work on it, focus on it. I have told a lot of people to read novels if they are not into it. If you don't like reading, you can watch animated movies also. I've told in every session of mine, watch animated movies. They give a good subtitles wherein you will understand how to frame words, how to make sentences. Even if you are not aware of English, you can start speaking in English with your friends, within your friend circle. Again, I'm telling you, because what happens when you are speaking every day in English, when you are working on your grammar, the grammatical mistakes, the way you pronounce. See, for example, if you are, taking a sentence, okay, see to it if you want to learn something in accent, take one sentence and work on it. Speak in a way wherein you make people more comfortable with you, because what happens, some people try to speak in accent, but what happens, their pronunciation goes wrong. they end up with a wrong conversation. Okay, so when you are communicating with someone, see to it the person sitting in right in front of you understands what you're trying to speak. Okay, see to it that the person doesn't get confused. And in every session, we would be teaching you something new, something innovative, wherein you can start learning. I know this all was taught to you in your schools when you were very small, but then again, we have come with a session like a teacher, but then still, this is guys going to really impact you because people are paying a lot of amount for spoken English classes, for communication skill classes, for corporate trainings. If you just Google, how much do people pay for corporate trainings, definitely you will understand how much like they pay in 70,000, 80,000. But here we're going to give you free of cost. So we are going to record some sessions on corporate training as well. We are going to record some sessions on grammar, on communication skills, why it is so important. So you also learn and understand a lot of new things before entering the corporate world, because a lot of people who have come from a basic background, and this is something new. As you know, our company is also an IT based company, so this is going to help you out, in all the ways. And we are also telling you that we are going to check your performance in terms of assessments. We are going to upload an assessment this coming week, or might be the next week, like whatever sessions were done today morning, or might be after this session, whatever assessments we are going to prepare, we would be uploading it in the next week. And also we would be providing you attendance form as well. I think it would be sent by now in the description. Or might be in the chat box. So everyone see to it before leaving the session, you are maintaining your attendance, so that we at least have a count like how many people were attending, so that it impacts us also. And we do understand like there are a lot of people who are busy. There are a lot of people who are not understanding, okay, the importance of this. So see to it that you are giving your valuable time. And also I would like to suggest, see, it is not necessary that you are only getting the knowledge or you are it going to take the knowledge. Even if any one of your friends, even if any one of your relatives want to see these videos, whatever we are uploading, if it's helpful for them, let's not let them pay, here and there in terms of spoken English. If you feel like, okay, this session was very innovative, definitely you can share the video with them, on WhatsApp, or might be through any social media link. Let them see the videos, let them get all the knowledge, because a lot of people who are from south here, a lot of people who are from rural areas in Maharashtra or from the north, so they don't have any idea about how to speak in English. So this might help these people. Even you can show this to your kids as well if they are interested, so that they like the video. And also like, share, and subscribe our channel on YouTube. We are also on Instagram. We are also on LinkedIn. We are also on Facebook. So whatever we are going to upload on any of the platforms, definitely it would be innovative for you as well. And you would also understand whatever contents we are going to put on, or whatever sessions we are going to put on the social media. I hope all enjoyed the session today, and we're going to come with definitely all new sessions. Thank you so much and have a good evening. Thank you so much.